Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Dr. Arif from Armed Forces Bone Marrow Transplant Center, and I will be the moderator for this free paper session. In this session, we will be having 5 speakers, and each speaker will be allocated a total of 7 minutes for his presentation, followed by 3 minutes for question answer session. Now I would like to formally invite the panelists for this session. We have with us Dr. Muhammad Ayaz Mir. He is a professor and head hematology department, Shifa International Hospital, Islamabad. Sir, please, if you can come to the stage. Dr. Farooq Ali Khan. He is assistant professor and head of department, Law University Health Sciences, Karachi. He will be available with us online. Our third panelist is Dr. Nigat Shehbaz. She is consultant hematologist and bone marrow transplant specialist at Armed Forces Institute of Bone Marrow Transplant. Dr. Shahzad Sarwar is consultant hematologist at Gumbert Institute of Medical Sciences. Sir, please. Dr. Syed Waqas Imam Bukhari is consultant clinical hematologist at Shaukat Khanam Memorial Cancer Hospital and Research Center. Our first speaker for this session will be Ms. Ramin Sajid from NUMS, and the topic of her presentation is measurement of telomerase length, a prospective biomarker for disease diagnosis. Ms. Ramin Sajid.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ramin Sajid. I'm from the National University of Medical Sciences, and today I'll be presenting the topic of measurement of telomere length as a prospective biomarker for disease diagnosis and prognosis. Just a quick overview of the contents of my presentation today. So to begin, I'm sure everyone already has a strong enough grasp of what telomeres are, but just to reiterate, they're repetitive sequences of DNA found at the ends of chromosomes, and they protect gene loss during cell division, with naturally progressing of the telomere length shortening with age. However, uncontrolled telomere shortening is known to be associated with certain diseases and worsen prognosis of those diseases. So based on this idea, we conducted our study at the National University of Medical Sciences on testing the potential of telomere length as a biomarker for disease diagnosis and prognosis, with the idea that telomere lengths in patients are significantly shorter than controls. So before I move on to our study, before I delve further into that, I would like to shift the focus onto the global perspective on telomere length in hematology, especially because today's discussion is based on hematology itself. So global findings have noted that significant telomere shortening has been known to be associated with worsened prognosis in patients than in controls, in bone marrow failure syndromes, leukemias, and myelodysplastic syndromes. So now focusing and honing on to Pakistan specifically, just to give an idea of the relevance of telomere length as a prospective diagnosis biomarker. Studies have been conducted in not only Islamabad and Rawalpindi, but all the way from Quetta to Karachi, including patients of diabetes, CVTs, and even newborn infants. And the findings of all of these studies have shown that there is a significant negative linear relationship between age and the patients of and the telomere length of the patients of these diseases compared to controls. Another study conducted in 2018, based on aplastic anemia patients specifically, conducted by BMTC with NIH, found that the telomere length median value for aplastic anemia patients was significantly shorter at the p-value of 0.019 than in controls. And out of these 214 aplastic anemia patients in the study, there were 10 who were noted to have TERT and TERK mutations found by Sanger sequencing. And when southern blots were conducted to measure the telomere lengths of these patients, 2 of them over here were found to have significantly shorter telomere lengths compared to the normal range, from which we can deduce that there is a correlation between TERT and TERK mutations and the telomere length shortening in aplastic anemia patients. However, there is a point to note here that telomere length shortening, the significance of this as a biomarker for disease diagnosis and prognosis is a topic that is under debate and deliberation within the scientific community, not only in Pakistan, but globally as well. And this is conduced by the fact that there was a study conducted at ComSats here in Islamabad, which found that acute lymphoblastic leukemia patients specifically did not have significant changes observed in telomere length compared to controls. So this contributes to that growing debate of the varying significance of telomere length as a potential biomarker in disease diagnosis and prognosis. So based on all of these findings from researches conducted globally and within Pakistan, we based our study on including aplastic anemia patients most notably, followed by diabetes mellitus, infertility, and myocardial infarction patients, with 200 healthy volunteers who gave us, of course, informed written consent, and we recorded the demographic data and the biochemical tests of these participants. We began with conducting DNA extraction of these participants from their peripheral blood samples, followed by real-time qPCR using Cawthon's method as described by him in 2002. From that, we calculated the telomere length using delta-delta CT method and TS ratio. And lastly, we had our statistical analysis conducted on the data sets to find the mean and standard deviation values with the p-value of less than 0.05 considered to be statistically significant. So the most anticipated part now, the results. So from here, I think it's pretty clear at first glance that the relative telomere length in patients is significantly shorter in patients with age than it is in controls. And this is corroborated by the p-value as well of less than 0.001. The same can be seen here in infertility patients as well, where the patients have shorter telomere lengths compared to controls, and this is depicted by the p-value as well. However, remember when I said that there's a lot of deliberation and debate regarding the actual significance and reliability of telomere length as a potential biomarker? So this was depicted in our results, where we found that although the telomere length in myocardial infarction patients is shorter with age than in controls, it's statistically non-significant as the value is more than 0.05, which means that this is contributing to that growing debate of the actual reliability and significance of telomere length as a potential biomarker for disease diagnosis and prognosis. And lastly, aplastic anemia, the patients for this group. This particular group is not only of importance and notable significance because it's a hematological disorder, of course, but also because of the fact that this study is the first in Pakistan to associate telomere length with aplastic anemia. We had 100 patients with age-matched controls, and the study was done in collaboration with BMTC, where we found that, again, telomere length in aplastic anemia patients was significantly shorter in the patients with age than it was in controls. And this then, of course, concludes to the fact that telomere length can potentially be significant in diagnosing the diseases in patients. So to conclude the findings of the study, we found that telomere length in patients for the diseases studied were significantly shorter than controls, except for in myocardial infarction. So in order to validate the significance that was found, larger studies with larger cohorts do still need to be conducted in order to validate the potential of telomere length as a biomarker. And for our study, we aim to streamline qPCR as a technique for labs within Pakistan to adopt so that they can use telomere length as a diagnostic and prognostic tool to help the timely diagnosis of high-risk patients so that they can get timely treatment as well. And lastly, before I finish, I would like to acknowledge the listed parties for their contributions and support in our study. And we are very much open to collaborations to understand hematological diseases better so that in the grand scheme of things, we can help patients. And for that, I have the contact information of my supervisor listed. So please feel free to contact us on this information. That is all from my side. Thank you.
I was late, didn't heard the initial part. Were these controls age and sex matched?
So, sir, for most of them, we did have them age matched. However, because our study, it is still under work, it's not published. So, we are working on analyzing these results with age matched controls as the study is progressing as
Because
well.
if they are not age and sex matched, then these findings may not be relevant.
Yes, for aplastic anemia, they were age matched, but for the other categories, we're still working on that.
So you've selected 50 patients in each category for myocardial infarction, diabetes, and so where did you get the 50 number? Like this is a very common prevalent disease, and to get some meaningful results, you need much bigger number of patients. So why the 50?
So at this point in time, we started this study as a pilot study, and again, because these were samples that we had collected from the institutes that were listed. So again, because this is a study that is currently ongoing, in the future, we aim to expand this study to include more sample sizes as well, so that the, again, significance of the results can be validated.
Are you also looking at telomere length correlation with disease severity of aplastic anemia, response to treatment, or risk of clonal evolution?
So
Are you looking at that?
at this point in time, we've only noted it with specific, in one study as it was depicted in 2018 with mutations. But for our study, we aim to associate telomere length with aplastic anemia patients generally. But in the future, we do plan on including the severity and all of these specific markers as well. So for some of our studies, for example, for myocardial infarction and diabetes, we did note the biochemical tests, for example, for cholesterol, triglycerides, and glucose levels as well, to see how those biomarkers were related to telomere length progression and shortening. So we aim to include that with aplastic anemia patients as well.
What was the criteria to label controls as healthy controls?
So
Did you check their HbA1c?
yes, ma'am. Like I said, biochemical tests were conducted. So we had the p-value for both controls and patients calculated based on the biochemical tests that were conducted. For myocardial infarction patients, we had their cholesterol levels, their triglyceride levels, lactate dehydrogenase levels, and also their high density lipoproteins. For infertility patients, we had their stress levels. So these were calculated, or rather recorded, on the basis of interviews that were conducted with the patients to include their their domestic stability, their financial stability, their overall living standards, because that is conducive to their stress levels as well. So we compared this on the basis of that. And for diabetes as well, we had their glucose levels, HbA1c levels calculated. Yes, so we do plan on including that as well in the future of the study. Because again, like I said, this is unpublished work, and these are studies that were conducted at a pilot level at the moment. So as we progress and as we expand our study to, again, like I said, collaborations as well, so that further institutes that have more samples that are interested in this work can contact us, and we can work at a larger scale with larger cohorts to include such findings in the studies as well.
Sorry, just one last question. So in your patient group, like for instance, in myocardial infarction group, there are so many other risk factors, hyperlipidemia, hypertension, diabetes, and all that. So there could be many confounding factors. Did you
Yes, sir.
look at those as well and match them?
Yes, sir. So we found that, for example, for myocardial infarction, we categorized the patients as smoking and non-smoking, and we found that smoking myocardial infarction patients did have significantly shorter telomere lengths compared to the non-smokers, and the same was for hypertension as well. So these biomarkers were also considered in the study, especially in relation to telomere length. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ramin Sajid.